I got it. I think 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 I got it. All right, all right, all right. I apologize. I really don't know why they allow that to happen. YouTube, get it together, YouTube. Get it together, YouTube. All right. Thanks, Nat, for shouting that out. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Listen, right? So I'm gonna do this a little different, so that I can um show you exactly why I stress the fact that everyone just don't know how to graph. Everyone has their own little thing. Everyone can learn, but it's just a matter of preference. Uh, the preference is how you want your finished project to look like. So, I am going to timestamp this. I have an agenda from the 24. If you want to what the hell? Oh. So 24 hours later, if you want to look at some things specifically, it'll be on there. Okay, so let's get this party started. Let's get this party started right. Also, right there in the chats, right? Right there in the chats, there is a dollar sign, right? I don't like saying it. But so many people say, you don't mention it, and I keep forgetting. And I want to help you, and I want to help you because you do so much. I appreciate you. I thank you. Down there in the chat, you want me to see your message? You want me to answer your question right then and there? I will do that. I will take the time and do that. If you give a super chat, which is a donation that helps me to keep on going and help you. Now, a lot of the stuff that I'm going to talk about is in the ebook, but I can't go through everything. I'm sorry. So if you don't have the ebook, it's in the description below. In the description below, you will be able to find how you could purchase the ebook. All you need to do is send your $40 to one of the payments below, and the ebook will be sent to you. The ebook includes way more than what I'm going to talk about today. It's going to include everything that you need to know to graph uh um Graphghan using PC Stitch. That is the software I use. Why do I use PC Stitch? I use PC Stitch because it is easier for me, quicker for me. I'm able to do way more things. I'm able to like manipulate the image, whereas I can't do that with any other software that I found so far, especially Stitch Fiddle. I know a lot of you use Stitch Fiddle, a lot of you use the other places, whatever, I don't know, but that's you, not me. If your chart, graph, pattern, whatever comes out looking great for you, fine. But I am only here to help those who want to be helped. That's all. I don't want no nasty comments because I'm going to be very truthful. I can't be diva if I'm not truthful. I have to tell you the truth. I have to tell you what I feel and what I believe is what a good graph should look like. And that is based off of me doing this and only this since I'm going to say almost a decade. So, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Um so if you have any questions, put question marks up. But again, I may not see it. But if you do a super chat, I'm going to see it. So if you want to donate, boom, 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 I will see that. Um, we have Shay and Nat who are moderators. So if you have a question regarding links to groups, links to the ebook or any other thing, they can answer your question because I'm going to be on strict graphing mode. When I'm on graph mode, I'm on graph mode. Okay? All right. But anyway, how art thou? How art thou? How art thou? All right, so now that I went through all of that and all of the instructions and everything, please don't forget that I have Popple. You could get Popple, which is your digital business card. Whether you have a business or not, it's always good to have. It was a great stocking stuffer for so many people. And it was something that a lot of people was saying hesitant about, but once they got it, it was like, oh my gosh, Shauna, you saved my life. I know. I always save people's lives. So, yeah, in the description below, there's the link to Popple. If you want to know more about it, I will definitely help you with that. Also my merchandise is in there. So if you want any shirts like this one, this is the real crocheter of Jersey City. But if you want one specific, I can help you with that. Or design whatever you want. Just let me know. All right, let's get it going. Time stamping now. I'm time stamping. So the first thing that I am going to talk about is how do I find the pictures? That was the question that someone asked. How do you find the right photo or pictures to grab? Now, the right photos that I use for my grabs is not necessarily one. It's not always one. It's sometimes multiple. Sometimes I use like two, maybe three different graphs all in one time. And when I do that, I kind of sort of make up my own image. So, how can I explain to you? Give me an idea. Somebody shout out a graph. It can be Giants and Hennessy. I'm going to put that together. Somebody could tell me I want Mickey Mouse and a DJing. I could put that together. Because out there, it may not be an image out there or someone drew it or someone created. It may not be out there for you already. So what I do is I use PC Stitch to manipulate images and make it my own. And that's where, let me see, how do I find, I'm time stamping, sorry. So 24 hours from now, you're going to see the timestamps. How do I find an image to grab? Okay. So, like I said, I would go on maybe Google, Pinterest. Sometimes when somebody is telling me what they want, I will already have in my mind. Like if you say I want Harley Quinn, but I want Harley Quinn with a shirt that says Zaddy on it. Somebody really did ask. Not you, Disha. Somebody else asked. That says Zaddy on it with Z. And they wanted her to have a tattoo on her face or something like that. Um yeah, I get strange requests, but it's not impossible to create. So what I'll do is I'll find a picture of Harley Quinn. Now, when I find photos, all photos that I look for is vector. Vector is almost like a cartoon like. So say if I have a photo and it's not cartoon like, I would sometimes change it to cartoon like because I know how to edit photos. So sometimes I would edit a photo and make it look like a cartoon like. It would be, and I will show you. Let me see. where we at now? Okay, so on Pinterest, right? As you can see, there is a photo of Elizabeth Taylor right there. So that was an actual photo, and somebody made it into like a cartoon like. It looks like a cartoon like, but it doesn't look like a cartoon like. You understand what I'm saying? I hope so. Anyway, or a clip art, or a SVG file. Those are files that people use for Cricut, and that's what I use as well. So that's what I look for. Now, what I would do is in my mind, when you give me the ideas of what you want, that's what I would do. I would go and I would look, bam, I found the picture of Harley Quinn. Then, because she went zaddy, I would use the text and I would put that on the shirt. Now, say if Harley Quinn already, the picture that I found has something already on the shirt, all I do is delete that. I will get rid of that. And with PC Stitch, it's easy to do that. Whereas I have used Stitch Fiddle, it's harder to get rid of it. It takes a little longer. It's a little bit more work to use Stitch Fiddle. I'm not saying it's not possible, but it's a little bit more work. Now, in order to incorporate Zaddy, it doesn't work with Stitch Fiddle. You're not going to be able to do that with it. Also, what I also noticed was that Stitch Fiddle, you can add the colors, but a lot of the colors are not gonna oh my god, I'm literally talking to the camera and really I'm talking to the camera and I wasn't even showing myself. But anyway, the lost my train of thought. Okay, Stitch Fiddle is not going to allow you to do the colors that are actual brand names of the yarn. They don't do that. So that's something you have to be careful with. Wait a minute, why is it's showing you guys something else? It's not showing you what I'm looking at. Wait a minute. That's because I'm on somebody else's live stream. Duh, Shauna. Oh, wait a minute. Why is it not showing you? What is wrong with me? Okay, so y'all watching what I'm supposed to be watching, but I wasn't watching it. So say if I wanted to use this Coca-Cola Betty Boop, but I don't want the background around it. I'm able to change that background and put another background. Whereas with Stitch Fiddle, it's not to you're not really going to be able to do that. So this is the reason why I use PC Stitch over um I use PC Stitch over Stitch Fiddle or any other thing. Plus, I done taught myself how to use PC Stitch. I done wrote notes on PC Stitch. I done wrote the ebook on PC Stitch. I done taught do tutorials like galore. I've been doing tutorials since 2014, 15, about 14, 15, and I've been doing it consistently. So I kind of sort of mastered PC Stitch. PC Stitch is it was originally for cross stitch. When I was introduced to it, they just decided to use it for crochet. The people who decided to make PC Stitch did not do it for us crocheters because Graphghan wasn't such a big thing at back then. Now, 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 a lot of people use it. I could say I was kind of sort of the pioneer of it. So when you want to go to somebody who knows something about graph ganning, go to somebody who knows what they're talking about, not someone who don't know. I'm like really, really sincere about that. Um, okay. Once I find a picture, sometimes I would tell you it's not a good picture. The reason why I say it's not a good picture is because it's either a photo And photos are so much work. I would have to edit, I would have to do this, and I would do that. And this is why I charge 20, 25, and $30 for them. Because it's a lot of work to do a photo. It's not just no, I'm gonna put it in the PC Stitch software or Stitch Fiddle software and bam, put the size and the colors and it's fine. It doesn't work like that if you want it to look good. Now, I know everyone saw a Graphghan that you liked and you thought it was good. And the picture you seem to think is good and it's clean and it's clear. But when you see an actual Graphghan that was done properly and that was done with connected lines and done by someone who kind of sort of know what they're doing, you will see the difference. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you the differences because sometimes we do not know until we know. And then that's when we change our minds about it. Me, for example, I'm going to show you. I'm embarrassed about it, but some of you already saw it. I'm going to show the same pictures because I can't show anybody else's pictures. I can't show anybody else's upped up work. So I'm going to show my upped up work. I'm going to show my work that I messed up and my work that looks horrible and I'm embarrassed about it because now that I know how to graph and now that I know how to crochet it, I'm really embarrassed about it, but it's okay because I know what I am now. So I'm going to show you that as well. So that's basically, if anybody have any questions about how do you find a certain image, I look for vector images, VECTOR images. I look for clip arts. I look for SVG files. I look for drawings, stuff like that. Cartoon like figures, like what you're looking at right now. Cartoon figures. I would use that. If I need to make something and put it together, then I will find 2 or 3 of the same thing and I will put it together. Sometimes I will get a couple of them because that's just how I am. I want to be able to have everything that I need. So I would get a couple of pictures and have it there. That way, as I'm graphing, sometimes it comes in my mind, okay, she wants zaddy hair, but I think it would be so cool to put it up there instead of hair. That's just how I am. But a lot of times I don't know what the hell I'm doing until I'm graphing, and as I'm graphing, the idea will come to my head. Um, Again, if you have any questions as I go, let me know. All right. So once you find your image, how do you know what's the right size? All right. What's the right size for your image? I'm going to let you know. 12, 45. Size matters, okay? Size matters. Size, if you do not have the right size, then that's going to be a problem. If you do not have the right size, and say, because so many of you request really detailed images and want them on this little tiny area. It doesn't work like that all the time. You have to understand, when we are graphing and you have to crochet that. So every single last square, every single last dot that you see in these pictures have to form an image. And if you only want 20 by 20, how is that going to form an image? It's not. So you have to be careful when you say, I want a pillow size, but then you have all this detail. And then you wonder why I say I can't do that. I don't want to do anything that I know is not going to come out looking great. And when you crochet it, it's not going to come out looking great. I programmed my mind. I don't know how. I don't know how I did it, but I programmed my mind so that when I graph, I'm graphing and I know like if you start from the right to left and left to right, I know that if I put the the dots a certain way, it's going to go a certain way. And what I mean by go a certain way, the flow, because as you know, when you crochet, it's kind of jagged. Your graph is going like this, and then like this, and then like this, and then like this. Not your graph, your crochet, because you're going from right to left, left to right, right to left, left to right. So when you are doing your graph, if you don't have those dots going in a certain way, it's not gonna look right. Um, Example right here. For instance, this one, I don't know what the hell it is, but I'm gonna use it as an example. If we were to use this and we start over here in this corner on the right, work our way over to the left, and then left to right, right to left, right? You see these lines here, they do not connect. That is called unconnected lines. This is not something that's written in the book or whatever. This is something that myself and other pioneers of Graphghan's graphing had figured out throughout the years. When you do not have those lines connect, it starts to disappear. So when you are going this way and then that way and then this way and that way, when you crochet, they gonna disappear and it looks like you are skipping the line. So it looks like instead of one solid line, it looks like you have gaps. When you have gaps, it does not look good. My opinion. I just listen. My opinion, it don't look right. So if you have the wrong graph, it's gonna look tacky. It's gonna look horrid. Um, I'll show you an example. My work, unfortunately, but I'm going to show you the example of how it will look if you do it like that. Again, it's preference. So if you don't mind to have a graph that looks like that and you don't mind crocheting with that, by all means keep going. Nobody's going to stop you. All right, let me get to the picture. Let me see. So it's only allowing me to do one. Oh, come on. I think it's allowing me. Oh no, it's not. Okay. I was about to say this is stupid. Not that one. Here it is. All right. So I don't know if you can see this, but I show these all the time because again, I can't show anybody else's work and tell them that it looks horrible. There's a lot out there though. There's a lot out there, but it's my opinion. You can't really see it because at the time I really didn't know what the hell I was doing. Um, I tried to be fancy and use cursive, and as you can see, it disappears. You really can't tell. And the person who I gave it to, because I gave it to that person as a gift because they just had a baby, And I just wanted to practice crocheting because this was like early on in the days of me learning. I made this for that person, and that person had the nerve. Well, I made it for that grandchild of that person, and that person had the nerve to say, "Oh, what does it say? It says your granddaughter's name." Oh, that's what it says. I could barely see it, but it's beautiful. That's exactly how she said it's beautiful. So I was like, mm, mm. I was trying to be nice, but this is something I made for my son, and then, again, early on, didn't know what the hell I was doing, but this is what I mean by size matters. Okay, I did a graph, and I just put in any size. I put in because I had wanted a size. I didn't want to make it too big. I When you are looking at a football field, the football field is a rectangle. It's longer and shorter on the sides. So it's a landscape or portrait. You have to remember, depending on your picture, you have to know that the size that I am going to do, I look at your photo first. So looking at this football field, it was horizontal and it was short on the sides. So I didn't realize that I had to make it like maybe 200 by 150. That would have been perfect size, but I didn't know that. I kind of sort of did something else. And when I put it into the software, I put it in the software as is. So the software automatically puts in 100 by whatever length is going to come up to, and I think it was like 200 and something. So 100 by 250, I'm gonna put 250. That is not proportional at all. It's not proportional. So what I mean by not being proportional, if you can look at this, it was like my son needed to be a really tall basketball player, not even football player, because football players are kind of thick. You had to be really tall, slinky to get into that blanket. My son couldn't even use it because it was not even covering over. Like, to wrap him up in it, it wasn't gonna work because I didn't know any better. So size matters. If you say you want that pillow 80 by 80 and you want it to do this, it's not gonna happen because I did the actual letters and the name in the middle. And to do that in a pillow size is not gonna happen. To do even with just this, say if you wanted names and you wanted the whole entire name, it's not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. It's not going to look right. Shoot, this don't even look right because this is like 100. I think this is like 120 by 120. 120 by 120, and it still don't look right. Don't ask for no pillow. It's not gonna look right. Um. So this, I actually did this as uh, it was a parlor bead graph, which is what I just showed you on Pinterest. Parlor beads is those little tiny beads that you put together and make an image. So I used it. This was back before I did PC Stitch, back before I even knew anything about it. And I used software that I found online to do the name. It was a flop. It was a sorry ass. I don't know what it was. I just will never use it ever again. And as you can see, it looks discombobulated. It does not look good. Don't tell me it looked good. Don't say it looked good because it don't. It doesn't. The actual transformer is okay, but it does not look good. You want something that stands out, that has sharp lines, and it looks good, and you could clearly see what the hell it is. Now, even though you could tell it's a transformer, I could tell you right now that I can rock that. right now. I can make that, and not only can I make that, I will make it look more like lifelike. I would make it look um maybe a better background. The name would stand out. It's not gonna kind of sort of look like I didn't know what I was doing. It looked like I actually um when I was like 4 years old try to write the name Josh. That's what it looks like. And it's not supposed to. It's not supposed to look like that. As you can see, there was some type of shading. You see the white? It disappeared, appeared, disappeared, appeared. It's in there somewhere. I don't know. It's not a good thing. Now, what I mean by size matters is the fact that that parlor bead, if you could tell, I went around it and I didn't know what the hell I was doing when I did that. And I see some people do it because you get a graph that's this big and you want to make a blanket, because what you have is this graph that's this big, but you want to make a blanket, so you're adding a bunch of different polar bead patterns, or patterns that you find on Google or on Pinterest, and putting them together, and it just are not coming out right. So you have to patch it up and add this and add that. It doesn't look right. So that's what I mean by size matters. Get you PC Stitch, because you can make it bigger and have it all on one big graph instead of all this, all over the place. Even if you wanted something that has the patches, the squares, um, I would still want to do it all in one shot. You could still do the squares and put that on PC Stitch. It just would be you crocheting it from the bottom to the top all at once instead of putting it together as a panel. But I'm not a panel person, so don't mind me. I'm not a panel person. I'm not good with panels. But so I don't know if you could tell. I don't know if you could see it, but around here, I had to go around it because it was such a small. I think it was like maybe 50 by 50. I'm making this up, but maybe like 50 by 50, and I had to take the yarn and go around it a couple of times just to make it a little larger. And then I added the border, the red, white, and blue border. Yeah, it looks so damn tacky. And at the time, I didn't know how to do my corners, so of course the corners was round. And then at the time, I didn't realize it, but it was kind of curving at the sides. It was a mess, a hot mess. But I evolved. I found out how to make it better. Um, okay, so another thing, your text. When you are putting your text in your when you're putting your text in the 21, I'm time stamping, sorry. Text. When you are putting the text in your graph, you have to find the right you have to find the right um font. Now, not all fonts are going to work. So you may say, I want Old English, which is like the English back in the days, like a wedding scriptured one. Um you might want that, but you want that on 100 by 100. It could be a large pillow or maybe a small baby blanket. And then you want a crown on top of it, for instance. But you want the crown tilted. It may not work because the crown is not going to look right. I'm going to show you. Ah. So the crown is not going to, let me see, look right, because I'm going to show you about that in a few. Here it is. Okay. So when I did this and I put the crown tilted, well, there's not a lot of tilted graphs out there that I could use. So I literally had to create this. I had to create it. and then graph it. Once I create it, I put I did the O and the J, and then I put the crown on top. I created that with just regular PixArt. I put it in here, I uploaded it, and then once I finished uploading it, um I put it in import. And import wizard is where you need to do majority of the work so that you don't have to do a whole lot of work when you are graphing. Import wizard is not going to show on here, so I can't even show you. But import wizard is when you press import and it pops up, where are you getting your photo from? So you could get your photo from copying, you could get your photo from your desktop, or the last one that you just used. It could be any one of those. So this one, I just copied it. And then because it was on my clipboard on my computer, that's the one that came up. Now, when I graphed it, like I said, you can't tilt the crown. So it already had to be tilted on the actual picture. But think about this. When you are tilting that crown, it distorts the image a little bit, because now instead of it being up and you can like make the line straighter and you can make whatever you want on the top or whatever, but now it's tilted. So now it's tilted, everything is to an angle. If I do not have enough boxes to make that angle look good, it's not going to come out right. The same with the font. If you do not have enough boxes, I'm going to show you. If you don't have enough boxes, it's not going to come out right. It's just not going to show up. So I want to do my name, but I want to do my name on a pillow, and I want graffiti writing. I'm going to do the large pillow for an example. So I take tools, I go to tools, and when I go to tools, I go and put my name, Shauna, right? I find the font I want. Now, as you can see, my name is not all together. I need for my name to be all together. So I have to make it a little smaller. So I'm going to go down to 30. It's still not together, so I have to go down a little more. It's still not together, so I need to go down a little more. So the more you go down, the more this starts to change. As you see, I'm going to show you something else, because I don't think some people get it. I'm going to do 150 by 150. All right. So I did 150 by 150, right? Let's make it larger. So if I go larger, let's say 50. I have to go down some. So that's what I do. This is literally what I do when I'm graphing to get the perfect size. What I do is I take my cursor or the bar and I put it in the area that I need it, because it automatically centers it. So I want a margin of 10 on one side and 10 on the other side. So what I would do is I would put the cursor in between. So I have 10 on the left and 10 on the right. So if I want to put my name, it will fit in between there. But because it's not going to fit all the way in between there, I have to go down some. So that's what I did. And I have to go down some more until I get the right size. Okay. Once I do that, once I get to that size that I think that it looks good, it still don't look good. You may say, "Oh, it looks fine." No, it don't. It doesn't look good. I would need to merge it to the background, which means as of right now, I can still pick it up. As of right now, I can't edit it. As of right now, I just click on it and it comes up. But if I right click and the box comes up, I'm going to put merge to background. Once I click merge to background, it's stuck to the background. So no matter what I do, it's not going to come up anymore, but now I can edit. So to edit, I would go around and I would just try to make it look a little good. But to be honest with you, I wouldn't even use it because it doesn't look great to me. It's not what I'm looking for. So I would keep going until I find what I like. But if it's something that you like, just make sure there's no unconnected lines. Make sure that see, I'm trying to edit it and I can't because I didn't merge it to the back. Um just make sure there's no unconnected lines. I always use the right click. You right click your like when I want to delete something like this, you right click. When you right click, it deletes like that. If I made a mistake and deleted too much, I just click undo. That's all. All right, let me delete that. So I'm gonna go back down because I want to show you something else. So I'm gonna go back down to 100 by 100. So fonts are so tricky at times. When you have a font and say if you want the Disney font, you're not necessarily gonna go online and say and find Disney because you're not a you're not really allowed to. But instead of it being Disney, there's one called Walt Graph, I think it is. Yeah, Waltograph. So whatever you go online and find, you just got to be careful and make sure that it's a true type font. It has to be a true type font because you want it to show up. It's not going to show up if it's not a true type font. The other thing about the fonts are, like I said, not all fonts are going to look good because you may love how it looks, a regular, photo or a regular picture. If you're gonna edit a picture and put graphics and stuff on it, that's one thing. But you have to understand you are taking it and putting it on little dots. And those little dots have to form a picture. So if you have a pillow size, it's not going to form the way you want it to look. Now, some people do let me show you. I'm gonna put my name. As you can see, that looks good. But that's not the size I need it because it's not fitting. So I go down. That's not fitting either, so I go down a little bit more. So that looks good, right? But say if I wanted, that actually looks perfect. I like that. 25. At least I know my name fit with 25. Um, let me see. Okay, so there's one that's a scripted one. So this is a scripted one. As you can see, it looks horrible. You really don't know what it is. So I will have to make it. It's not clear. I have to make it a little larger. Once I make it a little larger, I'm actually making it the same exact size as the one at the top. Now you could see the reason why I'm telling you. Depending on what font it is it's not going to look right. So that's the scripted Disney one, and at the top is the regular Disney one. The scripted one is the same exact size as the one at the top, but it looks like it's two different fonts. In order to make this one look legible, I have to make it larger. So if you want this font and you tell me specifically I want that font, but you have a pillow and it's not looking good, I have to go back and tell you it's not looking good. Sometimes because I've been doing this for so long and I did like over like 5,000 grabs, I can actually look at it sometimes and tell you it's not going to look right. And that's why sometimes I would deny a photo. So I'm going all the way up to 40. Let me make it 45. I would have to, in order for that to look good, I probably have to do 50. And I still kind of don't like it. But that's just an example of how all fonts don't look good. All fonts may not be right. And if you have a long name, say for instance, Demarcus with the apostrophe. If you have a name that has an accent or apostrophe or something, it's not going to look right. It's not going to fit. So you have to be careful with the size. Size matters with your text. Size matters with your photo. However, you have to be careful when you're choosing that. All right. Now, okay. So now, any questions before I go on? I'm going to do unconnected lines because I know some people be like, "What the hell is she talking about? It has unconnected lines. What is she talking about?" Unconnected lines. What are they? Unconnected lines is something that we kind of made up. Um, I made up the word unconnected lines because that's basically what it is. They are lines that do not connect. If you have a photo, and I'm gonna show you in a few, but if you have something that has a dot, it has a dot. So say if you want to make the letter O, I'm gonna say O or zero or whatever. So I want to do that, but you don't want it squarish. You want to make it round. That looks squarish. It doesn't look round, right? So the best way some people would do is this way. To make it round, they would do this. And when you do this, it will be more rounder. It will be rounder than that. Um, well, it won't look good when you crochet it though. So even though you're probably saying that looked good, the other one looks boxy. I don't like that. When you crochet it, you will appreciate why it looks boxier versus something that disappears. Because being that these lines are not connecting, it's going to disappear when you crochet. So what I do is I connect them. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm going to connect them. So I would add dots there that connects them all together. But not only do would I do that, I will also add uh make it thicker. Another layer to make it a little thicker because the thicker your outline is, the better and bold your line is when you are crocheting. and they won't disappear. Example. Let me put this down. Let me show you an example. Wait a minute. Where is it? Mm-mm-mm. My nose is stuffy. My nose is stuffy. Okay, here we go. So here, right here, as you can see, it says, "I love you, Charmaine." I told you, Charmaine, I got a best friend named Charmaine. I love you, Charmaine. I know what it says because I made it, but Charmaine ain't know what it says. She said, "What is that?" And then I had the nerve to do it like what Tweety Bird would say, "Wov." And she's like, "What? Is that an L? Like, what is that?" Like, wait, let me turn it around. I don't know what the hell is wrong with me. So as you can see, when I showed you those lines that did not connect, that's what it looks like. See Tweety Bird's head? You see how those lines are disappearing? I guarantee you, you got one like that, or you just did one and you were so proud of it and so happy about it. But honey, let me tell you, you're gonna grow. From here on out, you're gonna grow and you're gonna make banging ass crocheted Graphghans because I am here to help you. Tweety looks so discombobulated right now. I don't like showing it, but I'm showing it because I want to help. It looks discombobulated because it is discombobulated. His head lines are disappearing. You see little dots? So if you could connect the dots with your graph, it's not a good graph. Now, I I did this too. This is another parlor bead that I did. And because it was such a small, like, it was separate too. It was like heat for one thing, and then the logo was another thing. So I basically just put it together and did that. I don't know what the hell I was doing, but I didn't even center it. I don't know. I didn't know what I was doing. And I'm guaranteed some of you got that. But the logo looks discombobulated. As you can see, the lines were missing. So we can see an image, but if you use the right lines and connect those lines properly, you will see a photo, an actual picture. Right now, we see an image. We can guess that it is a basketball. If you didn't know the Heat's logo, you have to stare at it sometime. You don't want a Graphghan like that. You don't want to crochet a Graphghan that you have to stare at and figure out what it is. Because sometimes I have to do that with you guys. I have to stare at it and we have to literally guess what is it. And you have to tell us, "Oh, this is the okay. Oh, I see it." We don't want that. You don't want that. We want a beautiful outlined image. If I was to make that today, it would not be that size. It would have to be larger because now I have to make room for those extra dots that are not there. That's why if you say, because I have gotten some people that said, "Oh, well, such and such made a graph. And the reason why I'm not using her right now is because she's not graphing right now. So she made a graph similar. So you could do it. You could do it. And you don't have to put all the lines together." Like, somebody actually said that to me. How can you tell me to not put the dots together? I have to. I'm not gonna give you something that I wouldn't use. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't use it and I wouldn't give it to you. Even if you say, "Yeah, it's okay." So you could say, "Okay, credit Diva did the no, honey, no, 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 no. I'm not doing it. This is horrible. This is another thing I make for Charmaine Bestie. For the Charmaine Bestie, if she's still in here, I made this for my bestie Charmaine. She wanted me to do this for her friend, and she never got it. I actually gave it to somebody else. I don't even know why I gave it to her, but anyway, so this was something I wanted to. My mind was being very creative back then too. My mind was focused on I needed to make something different, and I wanted pictures on the corners. So I made the squares. That was up too. The squares was messed up. The squares looked discombobulated, and the boat looks discombobulated. Hey, you may say, no, it don't. Lashana, it looks good. No, it don't. Those lines should not be like, can you see it? Like, you gotta see that. It's disappearing. No, we don't want disappearing sales. We don't want disappearing anything. The anchor is disappearing. Everything is just disappearing. Thomas, poor Thomas. Poor Thomas. Your name is disappearing. So, this is why I am real strict on how I make my graphs, how I do the lines, how I make sure those lines connect. And do not have unconnected lines. Unconnected lines are my biggest pet peeve. My biggest pet peeve is to not have my images look like that. Any questions before I go on? No more questions? I miss talking by myself. Okay, so this again was done by um, a Parlor Beat graph. Poor Winnie is missing his head. His head looks like it exploded. It looks like um I don't know. It's loading, maybe. I don't know. So if you see my current Winnie the Pooh, it's big differences. My current Winnie the Pooh is way better than that Winnie the Pooh. So that's something that we need to get together and fix. Again, the unconnected lines. I thought I was putting a butterfly up there, but you can't tell it's a butterfly. Like you could tell, but you can't tell. In the B and the N, I thought I was doing something. I just knew I was doing something. And I actually at one point in time said that this was like one of my favorite blankets. I don't know why. Because it's not. Not no more. It's not my favorite blanket. Um the lines for the B were not connected. So as I crochet from right to left and left to right, it would disappear. The lines on the end disappeared. So it looks like you have a pen and you're trying to write and it's going like this. And you're skipping lines and you don't want that. This was just a catastrophe. So long story short, I was very embarrassed. But I wasn't embarrassed then and there. I'm embarrassed. I was embarrassed maybe like 2 or 3 years later because this was a wholesale item. This is something that they wanted as a wholesale and they wanted me to like mass produce this stuff. And they gave me like 6 months to make these things. So they wanted samples so that they could introduce it to the people. And I did 3 samples. This is horrible. I will never, ever, ever make anything like this again, obviously, because it did not turn out the way it needed to turn out. As you can see, I didn't know the meaning of the border because now my borders do not look like that. And it looks like, again, I had a pen and I have the shaking syndrome with my hands. That's what it looks like. And the hat, I have a whole new thing I do with making my hats. That's like, if you want to learn how to do that, I have a couple of videos on that. So I have a whole new mechanism about doing my hats. Whereas when I made this, it didn't work out right. And I didn't know the meaning of the hook size. It matters. I didn't know that not only the hook size mattered, that um size matters, because it was supposed to fit on an adult head and I think it only fit on my toddler child head. I don't know. So I bombed that wholesale thing, which pissed me off because I could have been making so much money. So, and that's the picture I used. So presentation makes a big difference as well. I bombed this. This happened back in 2015. I bombed this. This was my chance to like go viral, and I bombed it. I freaking bombed it. The edging was not good and neat. And I had the blessings of having two crochet mentors that were able to help me with it and tell me, okay, well, you need to do this, or okay, you need to do that, or you need to change this. And then my aunt kind of yelled at me about it too. So when you have the blessings of having good mentors, they can help you with that and tell you when you're like, yes, I did this. This is the bomb. You need somebody to bring you back down. Not to burst your bubble. I don't want to make anybody feel horrible, but I do want you to know that sometimes it's okay for constructive criticism, because that constructive criticism can help you. Obviously, I'm an example. I'm better now. Okay, that's it. No more of that. Let me see. Is there any questions before I go on? There's not much more I need to do except for show why a photo can't always be done. That's what I'm gonna talk about next. I can't drink water without it being icy cold. That's crazy, right? It has to be icy, icy, icy cold. The ice in this one melted. So I can't drink this no more. So I opened up a whole new bottle. Isn't that horrible? That's so horrible. All right. Now let's go into a photo. Graphing a photo. Let me take this off. Graphing a photo. I am not too keen on always graphing photos. When you are graphing a photo, it sometimes not going to be what you think it's going to be. So you have to be very careful when picking a photo. So say if I wanted a photo of my niece. So I upload that. But again, I can't show you the import wizard part. So because I can't show you import wizard, you can't see the stuff that I went through to get to this part right here. Now, the actual picture, let's see. Can I show you the actual picture? Hmm. Well, this is the picture. Now, some people might say, "Oh, that looks so cute. It looks good." But me, I'm having a nervous breakdown right now because once I crochet that, it's gonna look kind of distorted. It's gonna look kind of blurry, like as if I put a blurry filter on my own blanket. That's what it's gonna look like. You don't want that. You don't want it to do that. So let me show you why I have to charge so much. So as you see, this is a normal size because some people don't make it normal sizes. This is 150 by 178. I would make it 150 by 200. That's what I would do. I would make it 150 by 200. But this is 150 by 178. I wanted to go down to the lowest possible because that's what everybody wants to do, right? They want to do something really quick. So I made it lowest as possible. And this is what happened. You see those little tiny dots? Do you see that? Now when you look at it close up, it don't look like anything to you. It don't look like much. So when you're looking at something close up, I have to literally go from each dot and like change the colors of each dot one by one. As you see, this is what I'm doing. So each is like 150 by 178. So imagine times that, it's like thousands and thousands of little tiny, tiny, tiny dots that is forming one picture. I am literally sitting here like this and doing this. So when I'm doing your photo, I'm doing this, and then I would stop and I would go like this. And I would go back like this again. I have to keep doing it to look at the photo. But then I also on the side have a photo next to me of the original photo. And I do that because I look at the original and then I look at what I'm graphing. And then I know that okay, there's a brick on the side. So there, because there's bricks on the side, I have to make this look like it's bricks on the side. So because of the size, that means that I need to change it up a little bit. I need to make it look like bricks, even though I'm scaling it down to the smallest that you want me to make it. So I am literally like changing this and changing that. And and I have to do it step by step. So I start off in the corner and then I work my way down. As I'm doing this, I have to also make sure that I am making the colors the right colors because you need to find the colors, right? You need to make sure that when you're going to search for the yarn, you need to make sure that that yarn is and that color is actually available. So I have to make sure I'm doing that as well, picking the right colors. So I go back out. Okay. So the back, I don't know what this is right here. So I will look on the picture. That's a cookie. Okay, so since it's a cookie, I'm going to go back. Pick it back up again. I need to make it look like a cookie. So I'm going to make it brown. And then I'm going to go around because as you can see, it doesn't look like a cookie. And it has colors that a cookie don't have. So I have to make it look like a cookie is in the background. So I'm literally taking each dot and going around and changing it. Then, so what I'm doing is I'm using the little dropper. The reason why I use the little dropper is because down below you see all those colors, right? I don't know what color is what on here. So I take the dropper, which is the color picker. I take the color picker and I pick the color that I feel it needs to be, and that's what I would use. And I would go here, and I would go here, and make that look like little chocolate chips. Then I would go back to the color picker, pick the color that I want, which is the brown, the light brown, and then I would go out again. I would go back out. Okay, so now that I went back out, I need to change that because it still don't look like a cookie. To me, it don't look like a cookie. So what I would do, I would go back to tools. I would take the color picker I will go to the light brown and fix it. Make it look like a cookie. So now let me take the green and make it circled. Circle. So it looks like a cookie. So this takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of skill. It takes a lot out of a person who really is trying to do their best. So now I go out. Now that looks like a cookie because I had to round it off. So see what I'm trying to say? I had to ad lib basically. You know how when you have to add something in there that's not there, but you have to do it to make it look like it's supposed to look like. It was a box. It didn't look like it was round. It didn't look like it was a cookie. I had to make it look like that. Um, at the bottom, that's a cupcake. How am I going to make that cupcake that's smushed up because she smushed it up? This was her first cupcake. This is my niece. This was her first cupcake. So how do I take that mess down there and make it into something that looks like something when I crochet it? Honestly, I don't know. I have to play with it. So I go up closer and I will go down and I will stare at it. But I can't do it with the grid. I have to take the grid off. The grid kind of sort of messes with my vision and it makes me look at it and I don't like sometimes I have to take it off and on, put it on and off and on. So, like I said, it's a lot of work to make it look good. You want your photo to look like something that someone can look at it and say, that is a little girl who's happy she got her first cupcake. And not, what's that? Oh, now I see it. You don't want that. You want whoever the recipient is, or some people say, oh, I'm making it for myself, so it doesn't matter. If I made it for myself, I still want it to look good. That's just me. Um, okay, so I noticed because I had to lighten up the photo. Um, Again, I have to edit sometimes when I do your samples. If you give me a photo and I'm doing a sample, I have to sometimes change the lighting, the saturation. Sometimes I have to make it a different color. If you want it black and white, I have to turn that. I have to edit some things. If you wanted me to add names and whatever, I sometimes add that first. And that takes time. That does not take 20, 30 minutes. It's times that I'm literally sitting here for hours and hours and hours. Again, I'm not allowed to sit here more than 2 hours. Sometimes I do, but I'm not allowed to. I'm not supposed to because of my issues, my health issues. So at times I have to stop. Now, if I was to start doing this now, 8:23, for me to complete this, I guarantee you it will be 12 midnight and I'm still nowhere near done. Nowhere near done. As you could tell, it looks like Elmo's nose disappeared. So again, I have to look at the original picture and I have to make it into a photo that looks like Elmo's nose. And whatever is around look like whatever is around. Because you can't tell in the picture. You can't tell. Her hands, her fingers have to look like fingers. You can't tell right now. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I think that part is it. I think that part is it. And you just basically got to change the consistency. So all of the shadows on her face is not necessary, but I had to add like 25 colors. So sometimes with depending on the image, I have to play in import wizard. I don't know why. Let me see. Maybe I could show it. Let me see if I could show import wizard. Wait, are you serious, Shay? Are you serious? Elmo. Elmo! Hey, Elmo! Elmo stood up again. Oh man, I wish I could have saw that. Um, you just made me lose my thought. What the hell am I doing now? I said I was about to do something. Oh, I want to show you the wizard, import wizard. I think I took it off. Wait a minute, let me see. Killing me softly with his song, telling more lies. I hate. I love this song. I hate when people play songs that you. Okay, so I was doing this earlier. I could use this because it doesn't have my sister's picture. My niece's picture. Okay, so let me see. I'm gonna do that. Now, can you see this? I think you can. Yay! You can see Import Wizard. I got it. I love this software, man. This is so better than that other thing. StreamYard. All right. So, okay. So this is what I was doing earlier. If I wanted to use Import Wizard, um, what is the timestamp? What's the timestamp so that I could put Import Wizard? 1:16:53. 1:17. It's 1:17. Okay, so Import Wizard. Okay. All right. So as you can see, this is 100 by 160. That is not a proportionable size that you will want to use in a blanket. 100 by 160 is not going to get you that full size blanket. So, what I would have to do is the width would have to be at least 150 in order to be in order for it to be a good size blanket. Now, as you could tell, it's long. So it's a rectangle, but it's long. And because it's long, that means that it's going to come up very large, like really long, because it's showing the actual proportion of the photo. So it's coming up 150 by 239. Obviously, we're not going to do that. I'm not going to have that. But what I usually do for a twin size blanket is 150 by 200. So that's what I'm going to do. But once I do that, that means that it's going to get shorter. Once it gets shorter, sometimes the the colors disappear. All right? So I put 20 as the minimal floss. right here in this corner, it starts off with crop. I don't have to crop it. Then background and foreground. I don't need to do anything with that. Background is if you want to make the background disappear. And foreground is, I've never used that a day in my life before. Size is where we change the size. But in order for you to change the aspect ratio, which is you're changing the exact size. So when you put it in Import Wizard, it gives you the exact size it is. But because you're not gonna make a blanket 100 by 259, which would be like that football blanket I made my son, really skinny and really tall, because that's exactly what happened. I did that because I didn't know any better. But in order to make uh oh shoot, I did something wrong. I put 250. We don't want that. We want 200. So 150 by 200. That means it's going to get smaller. Yep, it did. So once you do that, then you're decreasing the squares. And once you decrease those squares, then that means the image is going to get a little bit more difficult to make. So that means I have to add certain things to it, ad lib. It's a lot of unconnected lines. So this is what I look at first. I look at this. I also want the lowest number of colors possible. The reason why is because if I put 30 colors, it's going to literally show up as many colors as possible, and that's going to take forever for you to like merge all those colors and get rid of those colors. So I would do maybe 15. Let's see, 15. If we use 15 colors, this is how it turns out. Not much of a difference at all. So being that it's not much of a difference, I will go down some more. I'm going to go down to 10. Let's see what 10 is. Not much of a difference either. So I would keep it that way. I would keep like 10 colors. So as you just saw, if I had 30, it made no sense to have 30 because I went all the way down to 10 and it still remained the same amount. So I would not need to do that. Let me see. So it's adjustments. Where it says adjustments, you can make it brighter, you can make it darker, you can change the saturation, you could just play around with it. Now the reason why I use this is because sometimes the photo just does not come out right. And so because it doesn't come out right, I have to like play with it a little bit inside here. Now see, it looks darker. It looks like it's more like I can see the lines a little better. So that's why I play around with it. And once you finish with that, then you press OK and then you go to the next page which is the page where you graph. And that is just about it. This is so when I did this, I have to add her name, right? So because I have to add her name, there's no room to add her name. So where the hell would you put the name at, right? Where would you put the name? Well, Diva got some tricks up her sleeve. So I believe Disha wanted 200 by 200. I believe she wanted 200 by 200. I'm not too sure because I'm not looking at it. But because she wants 200 by 200, I made this smaller. And I gave myself an extra 50 rows to play with her name. So because I did it like that, you can't do that on any other software at all. So cut and paste is what I'm going to show you next. Now, all of this is in the ebook. Every single thing, and it explains it in depth. It gives you pictures and it gives you videos. I am not doing all of that here because that is not what I came to do. I came to show you why, how, and we'll answer some questions. And nobody has any questions, so that's cool. That's fine. But to actually go into depth, I can't do that because it's way more than one day worth of everything to talk about. Way more than one day. Way more than 2 hours. Way more. So that's why the ebook was made. So if you want the ebook, it's in the description, $40. I suggest you get the ebook because it has everything and you could go back to it when you need something specifically. But anyway, um I want to add her name, right? So what I would do is I will go to pattern properties. Pattern properties is where the size is. So I will add the 200 rows with the 50 rows, really. So I would take my image and move it over. So once I move it over, I have the room to put the name. Then you look probably like, how the hell she's putting the name? I don't know what the name is, but I'm gonna put Shauna. I'm gonna put my name. So what I would do is I would make a whole nother area. And what I would do is I will open up another area and I will make it the same exact size that I need. So I need something that of the height 200, but the width got to be 50. And I can't go anywhere around that over that because that's the area where I have. So I'm going to do 50 and then the height will be 200. So that's real long and real skinny. But that's the area that I have to add the name. Oh, that's the name, Alana. That's almost my name, though. Almost the same letters as my name. Okay, so I don't know what font I'm gonna use. I have to play around with it. And this is why sometimes it takes a long time for me to do a name. So I'm gonna put Alana. ALA. What the hazy? What happened? Why is it doing that? Oh, I know. ALANNH. So I will have to make it smaller and play around with the fonts to see what font would look good. Now, do Harley Quinn have a font? Because if she do, I may be able to just look for that. All right. So I will go on Google and I will look Harley. Because this is how I come up with ideas. Harley Quinn font. Because I don't really watch comics or anything like that. So I don't know anything about Harley Quinn. So I want to know, is there a name? Is there a font for Harley Quinn? Is there something that I want to do that resembles the font for Harley Quinn? Like, is there a logo for Harley Quinn? That like these are the things that I look at to try to come up with ideas. Um okay, so now that I'm looking at it, I don't like the font, but it's only but so much I could do with the font. But I see certain things that I can use, like the diamond. I could use that. That now this is all the stuff that I'm putting in my head on what I could do and what I could use to complete this graph. So I didn't find anything I kind of liked on the logo. So I'm going to play with it here. All right. So let me do that. Let me see. Do I like that? Not really. Do I want a regular block letters? Like these are the things I literally think about. Do I want block letters? Do I want something formal? Like I'm trying to come up with something. And as I'm going, I'm thinking, what about like a clownish, like Joker? This is what's coming in my brain. I could make this a little larger. Now, I think I like this. I will have to make it a little bigger though, in order for it to look right. Now, see, there we go. In order for it to look good, I would need to make it bigger, but it's not going to fit. And even though this is like 200 and this is really skinny, um, the proportion of the font is not going to allow me to do that. So even if I merge this to the background to fix the letters, I still may have a problem. Let me see. I still may have a problem. So I may not do that one. Okay. I think I like this. This is a 3D effect. Okay. What about this? No, that's not Harley Quinnish. I don't even know what a Harley Quinnish is. I don't know what it is. No, no. So this is why it takes a long time for me to do your graphs. Because you want me to devitize it? This is what I'm doing. I'm devatizing it because I need to make sure it looks good for you. So I literally will be sitting here and I'll be going through the motions. I really think I like this one, but it's not going to fit. Let me see. It may just fit. Yep. There's gaps in here, so I can make it like close the gaps in a little bit, but no, I don't like it. This is exactly what I literally go through. Did somebody have a question? I see some question marks. Can the ebook be printed yet? No, not yet. Um, Same as coming up with your own graph. I don't know. Thanks. I'll have to try that. I have the ebook. Um, well, I am revamping it, but I'm trying to come up with someone that's helping me do like revamp it with the codes and everything. That way it's way different. I want it to be way different. I like this. Alana. Alana. Wait, did I spelled it right? I didn't spell it right. Did I spell it right? No, I didn't spell it right. Alannah. So now I'm back at the drawing board because I did not realize her name was not spelled right. So I'm back at the drawing board if this don't go right. I'm about to be upset. Maybe I could do it 29. Okay, I'm gonna try this and then just push up. So, all right, this is what a grapher does, right? I'm only going to make it 210 just so that I can fix it. Okay? So I made it 210, but I'm not leaving it 210. You understand what I'm saying? Okay? I just needed the room so that I can fix it because I really like this. But I have to fix the font in order to make it fit to the size I need it to fit. All right? So, there's some unconnected lines in here, so I need to fix that. Is it? Not necessarily, but all right. So, what I am doing is just going over it a little bit. Yes, it is unconnected lines, like right here. I'm going to make it. So, what I did was I merged it. I merged it by just clicking on the right. And when I clicked on the right, the box comes up. And when the box comes up, I clicked on merge to the background. That's in the ebook. All right. So what I'm doing is I'm hoping it makes the 3D effect. Because if this was way larger and I made this a little larger, the whole entire 3D effect would be a little bit better. But because I wait, let me show you. I don't know. I'm so visual. I don't want anybody to say I don't know what you're talking about. So say if I made this 300 by 300 and I used the largest possible, it looks so much better. So Alana is a long name. So because it's a long name, I can only go but so much larger. See, I can only do but so much larger. But as you see, it looks way better because I'm able to make it expand it and it just looks so much better. But because I need it in that small skinny spot, yeah, it's not gonna work. Okay, so now back to this. This because it's a skinny spot, it looks kind of like my hand is drawing it and it's shaking. So I have to fix the shaking look. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm fixing the shaking look. How do I know what I'm doing to fix it? I don't know. I just do because I've been doing it for a while. And I like art and I like to look at art and I like to look at fonts and I like to look at photos. So because I like to look at it, I can actually see the motions and how it looks and how it's supposed to curve, how it's supposed to be an angle, how it's supposed to. So that's how I'm able to figure all of that out. All right. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just making sure now when Disha crochets it, it looks good and it's not going to look tacky. And I'm making it a size that she can actually crochet within a reasonable time. And it's not 300 by 300 like some graphers or so called graphers do. They make it so large because, why? They make it because it's easier to graph. But the percentage of you guys crocheting my stuff is way larger than theirs because I make it a size that is legible, a size that you really, really can actually use. All right, no shade, just telling the truth. All right, so now I'm just going to each line, and just making it look good. Making it look good. Each line. I hate when I get a breaking news on my phone. I'm jumping because you never know what the hell is going on nowadays. I'm jumping like something happened. Nothing ain't happened. It's just I just keep getting breaking news is on my phone and I'm jumping like what happened now? What's going on now? Oh my god. Oh my god. Damn shame. All right. So now do it look good? All right. So now I need to make it I need to get rid of 10 rows. So I'm going to push it up. Push, push, push. Push it up, push it up. Okay, so I'm pushing it up as far as I can go because I need to get rid of 10 rows. Did it. Right on the damn nose. I'm so freaking good. Now, make it 200. But I'm going to make it 200 by 200 because I'm going to add Harley to it to see how it looks. Right on the nose. Damn, I'm good. I'm humble. I'm humble. I'm really humble. All right, so I'm gonna make this black and wait a minute, black and red because that's Harley's colors, right? Black and red. Okay. Wait, I was supposed to make that 200. Why I didn't turn to 200? There you go. All right. Okay. So let's save that. Go back to Harley. Now I didn't graph Harley. I didn't graph her. But what I am going to do is right click and merge the light colors. I'm doing that because if I didn't do that, I'm going to show you why. If I didn't merge it, then weird stuff starts happening. And then you're going to be like, what the heck just happened? Why couldn't I do this? Now, you can't do this in Stitch Fiddle. Nope. So, say if I wanted to make her hair yellow, right? So I'm going in here, changing her hair. It's not changing the whole thing. So I have to keep going in here, making it yellow. I have no idea what her color hair is, but this is what I'm doing. I have to keep doing this, right? I have to keep doing it over and over. And as you can see, there's some areas that are missing. There's some areas that it's not going in. So in between, you see gaps. Look at this. This is Stitch Fiddle. Gaps, gaps, gaps. You see gaps, right? What if I get rid of what if I get rid of all of the light colors, the colors that you can't see? So I'm getting rid of that, which is me merging all of those colors together. Right click when I click on the light color, I will right click it. The box shows up and wait a minute, I'm sorry. No. That's not what I do. I would click on the box and then I would hold the button. You hold the button and you move it over to where you want to click on. When you pick up your finger, that shows up. When that shows up, then you click replace. And that's how I merge. That's how I merge my colors together. So all those light colors, I put them all together. Then what do? I click on it, I right click it, this little box shows up, and I remove it. Then it's going to be a warning. Do you really want to remove 2,211 stitches of that light color? Yes, I want to do it because it's giving me hell right now. It's not allowing me to do my best work. So now I am able to fill in way more. See? I can fill in way more now. See? It may be some areas still, but that means that it's because I didn't get all of the light colors. But see, you see how that happened? Before I was only doing little bits at a time, but now I was able to do the whole thing. See? That's because I got rid of all those colors I could not see. And it did that for me. Now, what else? I am not graphing her right now, but I'm just using her as an example. So before I graph her, I would take her, pick her up, and I would right click, the box will show up, and I will, oh shit, copy and paste. Wait a minute, I'm sorry, I missed the damn, uh, sorry. I missed the timestamp. 120. I didn't do the timestamp. Cut and paste. Okay. So now I press the selection tool. I select Parley all the way around. I will right click until the menu comes up. I will press copy because I don't want to press cut, because if I do that, something may happen, and it always happens to me sometimes. Something may happen and I may not be able to get her or retrieve her, and I don't want to lose her. So I press copy. I go back to the name, and then I go back up to edit, press paste, and she appears. And then there you go. Now, I don't like it. I actually hate it. So, I would make some changes. The name is long. So, because the name is long, it's not going to allow me to live my best life on here. Because I really like that font, but it's not allowing. I want it to be wider. So if it was wider, it would be like a little behind her hair. Her hair would be a little bit on top of it. But if I move it over to center it, it will be okay, but it won't be living my best life. Because in my mind, I already had in my mind what I really want. So I am going to take that off, which all I did was press undo. And I don't have to worry about it because she's still sitting on the other side. So I can go back to her any other time. But right now I need to figure out, what do I want to do with this font? Do I want to keep the font? Do I want to fill in the area? What do I want to do? I think I want to keep the font. Even though her name is long, and if I make it bigger, it's going to get larger and get off the grid. I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to leave it. But what I'm going to do is fill it in. What am I going to fill it in with? Harley Quinn and those daggone diamonds or whatever you want to call them. I am going to do that. So I'm going to go back. This is where we do the cut and paste thing. This is how I'm able to put like 2 and 3 photos in one. So I'm going to go back to Google. Up here. All right, I saw this. So I'm going to go look at that. But what I also can do, I'm going to press copy just so that I'll have it just in case. I like this one better. I'm going to press copy. But instead of pressing Harley Quinn font, I'm going to put Harley Quinn vector. And all vectors is going to show up. So I look at, okay, do I want to change anything else? Do I want any other clip arts? Is there something else that I'm missing? Because I don't watch Harley Quinn. I don't know a damn thing about Harley Quinn. So I want it to look as much as Harley Quinn as possible. So what do I do? How can I do this? It seems like almost all of the pictures has the red and black. It seems like almost all the pictures have the diamond and maybe some hearts. I don't see no Zaddy on this one. Like, I don't know who. I forgot who wanted Zaddy, but they wanted Zaddy. I don't know why. I think I got an idea, guys. I think I got it. I think I got it. I think I got an idea on what I am going to do. Now, I'm not saying I'm doing this for you, Disha, but if you want, you can. Wait a minute. I just read this. Wait. You want to try her nickname Tiny? That's a tiny name. Thank you, Disha. Thank you. Now you tell me. Heck yeah, I want to use Tiny. Tiny is tinier. Heck yeah. You sure about that? Because I'm erasing it. I'm putting Tiny. It's a done deal. I don't care what you say. It's going to happen now. You should never told me. Heck yeah, girl. What? I can make it larger too? Girl. Tiny. When I was younger, they used to call me Peanut. I am no goddamn peanut now. Oh, all right. So I can make it larger now. Girl, what happened like 10 minutes ago? Why we could have had this discussion 10 minutes ago? Okay, so I went up to 50. See? See how much better this is? Yo. Okay. Boom. I like this. Now I'm happy. So I am going to merge it and edit it, which I don't have a lot to edit because it's larger. So it automatically starts stretching into the way it's supposed to look. I'm excited now. I'm back to excited. All right. So you see these single lines? I'm just changing the single lines and making it a little thicker so that when she crochets it, it doesn't disappear. These lines can disappear like the images I showed you earlier. Okay, so I'm just looking to make sure there's no unconnected lines. is easier to crochet too, girl. You better stick with the shorter names. I would even cut my name. If I had to crochet my name, I'll cut my name. I don't know what I would cut it to, but I would. I'll probably cut it all the way out. Six six letters. That's that's too long. I would make it. I would make my name maybe S. Just S. S on your chest or Diva. Yep, Diva. I could add Diva. All right, so that's all I'm doing is just making the lines a little thicker. That's all I'm doing. Okay, add the color like I did previously. I like that so much better. I feel so much better now. I have a lot of these things up. Oh my god, I have a lot of these things. This is literally what I'm doing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That's an actual photo. It's actually done. That's done. The photo is done. I just gotta merge the colors together. All right, so this box is already selected. All I have to do is right click, press copy, and minimize the screen. Pick this one back up and go up at the top to edit. Press paste, and boom. There we go. I love that better. I don't even need to add anything else because I was going to add stuff to the background. I don't need to do that because if I add anything else, it would just make it look like sloppy and too crowded. This looks better. I like it. So I will finish graphing this and I will leave it just like that. But when I graph it, what color is her hair though? I know her hair ain't yellow. What color is her hair? It's actually pink and blue. It's actually pink and blue. So you got the blue side, or do you want the pink side? What side you want? Pink or blue? Let me know, and I'll do it. But yeah, I like that. Oh my god, it's so dope. I'm so dope. That dragon grab, yeah, girl, you were crazy when you asked for the scarf, because that's not happening. It's no way possible I could make that. To be honest with you, I almost wasn't gonna do this, and I'm gonna show you why. Oh my god, sorry. I got so many of these things up. Look at it. Because the background was because the background was black, those squiggly lines were really dark as well. So I had to edit the photo. I had to make it appear that the background is dark, but the actual dragons was lighter. I had to do that. So that's what I mean. I take a lot of time to do these things. And I don't think you guys realize that, but this is a lot of work to do. And then you got scales. Now look at this. Look at the scales. Look at it. When you go close, let me take the grid lines off. Look at it. I have to take each individual line, well, square, and make it look like a scale. Now, if you look at it and you look at it up close, You really can't um you, like it looks like something when it's far away, but when you're actually up close looking at it, it's really hard. If you're looking at it right now, you're looking at the screen from probably a distance, so it probably looks like something to you. But me looking at it right here in front of me, it's a lot. And it looks blurry. It looks like that's why I had to put on my glasses for this live. My glasses needed to be on for this live because I knew I was gonna be blind and I couldn't see. But the blurriness is there, so I have to make it clear. I have to make it look like all those lines are connecting and it's actually forming to be a dragon. And that's why I told her I had to make it 200 by 230 or else it just I wasn't able to do it. So that's what I mean by size matters. It really do matter. Um okay. So that is all. Wait, where am I? Where am I? I don't know where I'm at. Oh, here I am. Okay, so I hope I helped and answered some of your questions and I was able to clarify some things that needed to be clarified. I didn't get a lot of questions, so I guess you didn't need any questions. Um, oh, thank you, Tisha. Harley is the best. I know, right? Isn't it cute? But once, see what I mean, though? See what I mean? When you're changing, sometimes the name may not be a good thing, but if you change it to something else, it turns out to look like really cute, and I don't even have to do the extra work. But this is what I literally do, and I literally sit here and I look at other pictures and I look at other things just to get my mind into it. But I appreciate you. Thank you. You throwing money like at you like I'm a stripper, right? Oh my god. You answered most of the questions and I realized I was skipping methods. I don't I Nat, I wouldn't say that. How many times did you take my class? I wouldn't tell nobody that. I wouldn't tell nobody that. And you the one who writes everything down, girl. Bye. And you got the ebook. I wouldn't tell nobody that. Super chat tomorrow. I'm gonna go over the other questions that had absolutely nothing to do with graphing and more to do with crocheting the Graphghan. So that's what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I'm bringing tutorial Tuesdays back because we got like 200 more people, and the 200 more people are like, "How can you do this? How can you do that?" And then you have other people in the group giving them wrong information, or at least information that I wouldn't use. So I want to be able to go and help those people. So tomorrow, 7 p.m. I will upload the video. It will not be a live stream, it will be a recorded video. And I will upload that tomorrow. So this is I'm gonna now go to bed because I'm getting old and I'm tired. But thank you so much, Disha. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Wear your balloon. So when my niece came over, she blew up all my balloons. And the one that was supposed to come from China didn't come yet. They still telling me that United States got the epidemic. I swear that's what they said. I swear. They basically saying New Jersey, no, they said the United States have an epidemic. So it's really really slow. And you got to give it time. I don't know how much more time they want me to give, but It's coming from China. So now I was trying to see if I can get balloons somewhere else, but nobody but China have it. I don't know why. And you like to watch me work there? Oh, thank you, Tori. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Do you sell the word graphs? Do I sell written instructions? Yes, my love. We do have written instructions, and that makes the best written instructions. I graph, she write them out, she does them. Boom, all done, taken care for you. Didn't you have a graph? Huh? Months? You have to wait. I don't understand what just happened, but oh, you gotta give me back my money. Okay, I don't know what just has happened. I don't know what's going on, what y'all talking about, but that has nothing to do with me. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go lay down and take it easy, and I will upload a video tomorrow. Answering the other Ask Diva questions that other people asked. The next video, the next live stream will be the podcast, and that will be Crochet It Ain't So. She's a TikToker and she's very popular on TikTok. And she gonna be on. And then I have Pearly with it, Nancy. Then I got a lot of people. I'm like full for the next 3 to 4 weeks. I'm excited about that. I'm so excited about that. So you guys are gonna be in for some great content from me. And if you have any suggestions on what you want me to do, let me know. Hit me up and let me know what you want me to talk about, what you want me to do videos on, because I done quit my daggone day job. I done minimized my custom orders, and I'm still getting custom orders. And I have to tell them I don't do them anymore. I literally told 12 people I don't do it. Like 12 people that actually wanted me to crochet that stuff. That right there, 12 people, that was a lot of money, like $1,500 right there or more. I don't know what the hell. That's more than 1,500. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. That's more than 1,500. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me. But I want more passive income, not a lot of labor. All right. So you guys have a good one, and I will talk to you later. I will talk to you live on Sunday, but tomorrow I'm gonna upload the recorded video. Have a good night. Bye. I said bye. Why this is not shutting off? That's because I'm using a different software. Oh